What's up, everybody? It's Kevin with Gear and Gun Reviews, and on today's show we talk about the brand new Gen 5 Glock 19. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the new Gen 5 Glock 19. First thing I want to say is just from appearances, I haven't put very many rounds through it, but the appearance of the gun, the feel of the gun, let's talk about that for a second. Glock didn't reinvent the wheel, guys. They have made some minor changes to the gun, nothing groundbreaking, but I am excited about a few things. One, there are no more finger grooves. The finger grooves are gone on the gun, and they've kind of flattened out the front, so when you get that grip on the gun, you get a nice purchase with your hand to the firearm, so you get a little bit more meat there. The next thing they did is they went with ambidextrous slide locks. All you lefties out there I know are flipping out right now. They also still have the return of the Gen 4 where you can flip the mag release to the left-hand side, so this is going to be a lot easier for you lefties out there to use this gun. They beveled the front end of the firearm as well, so it's no longer flat. It's got a nice little taper to it, almost like a 26. Has kind of that look to it, which doesn't bother me either way. They did stick with the plastic sights on this. Of course, that is something I'm going to be changing here pretty quickly, but they did stick with your traditional U and the dot for the Glock sights. Now, they also changed the barrel up in this gun. They call it their marksman barrel, and instead of having polygonal rifling on the barrel, they've gone back to traditional rifling, which I'm pretty happy with. I think they should have gone with regular rifling a long time ago. I think it's a little bit more accurate, but that's, same idea. The polygonal rifling never had an issue for me. They also based the trigger off of the 42 and the 43 as far as the trigger goes. There's no more texture on the actual shoe. The shoe is smooth. It still has its little safety here, but the actual shoe itself is smooth. So that's a little bit of a difference there as well. They went with a flared magwell, which is nice. You see a lot of guys that put magwells on their guns, and it's not super big, guys. It's probably been flared a ½ inch on both sides. And then of course they have the cutout in the front of the magwell. So if you have to rip a magazine out, you can get that finger in there and pull it. So overall, guys, they didn't reinvent the wheel. Is it worth the extra $50? I think so, because they have changed the coating on the slide. They've said it's more durable. It's going to be easier to clean. My only problem with it is it's slick. It definitely has a slickness to it. I mean, this is a brand new gun, guys. So it definitely has a little bit of a slickness to it. So I don't know if going through functions on it, my hands are going to slip or anything like that, but it should be fine. I went ahead and put on the medium back strap with the beaver tail, just because I have, again, gorilla hands, and when I get up on the gun, I don't have to worry about getting bit. So overall, guys, I really like just the looks of the gun, the ergonomics of the gun feel pretty good. There is one thing that I have a problem with. The frame, and I'll show you guys some up close of all of these little different pieces. The frame is not beveled like the slide. So part of me goes, if they would have spent 5 minutes and matched the bevel of the slide and beveled the frame, I think overall the fit and finish would be a little bit better. So, all right, let's go ahead and put some rounds on this. I'll give you my initial impression of shooting the gun, and then we'll go ahead and dump about 500 rounds through this gun, and then I'll give you kind of my overall impression. I also want to talk about a new sponsor to the channel, Trident Weaponry. Trident Weaponry is based here in Orlando. They do everything from Cerakoting to ammunition manufacturing, and they are actually coming on as a sponsor for our ammo, which I'm really excited about. So today we're going to be shooting the 9mm 124 grain to put through this gun, see how it likes it, and let's go from there. All right, guys. So I got a couple rounds here. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot my initial magazine for you guys. Now I won't lie, I've already put a mag through the gun just to make sure it functioned well and had no issues, ran fine, but I want to talk to you about my initial impressions of the gun itself. Like I said, I like the ergonomics of the gun, feels good. Mag feeds just fine. So let's see how it feels. ran just fine. It feels like a Glock, guys. You know, it's one of those things, and I've said it before, they didn't reinvent the wheel, so let's do another mag. Now they have changed the magazine follower to orange, and I know on the 17 they have changed the mag up a little bit, but from what I understand and from testing, Gen 4 mags work on this just fine, and the Magpul mags from Glock work as well. So let's go ahead and dump some more. Yeah, feels really good. No issues. So they based this gun off of the MHS that they sent to the Army, and one of the requirements for the Army was that out of 2,000 rounds, it's only allowed to have one malfunction. So that kind of goes back into the reliability of a Glock. And I'm not really having any issues with the slide lock at all, so let's do some more. Whoop. Got a misfeed. Yep, no issues, minus the misfeed. So I'm gonna go ahead and put 500 rounds of the new Trident Weaponry ammo through it and come back and tell you my overall impressions of the gun. Guys, so we just finished up shooting the new Gen 5 Glock 19. Put about 600 rounds through the gun, and it felt good. Minus the one hiccup that I showed you guys, it ran flawlessly the whole rest of the time. I think that had to do with it being a new gun. Still need to break it in, still need to make sure the slide and the frame are kind of working together the right way. So overall, I'm really happy with this. You know, I said this in the beginning of the video, they didn't reinvent the wheel. If anything, they just put a better tread on the tire. Some people are gonna really like this, some people are not. You know, that's the one thing that Glock has done is they don't completely revamp their Glock series. They do minor changes here and there just to make it better for shooters and for people that use their firearms. Personally, I like no finger grooves on a 19. My 17 has finger grooves, but it's because of my bear claws. The finger grooves on the 19 just don't fit. So having no finger grooves was nice. Trigger felt really good, felt like a standard Glock trigger. Can't really be mad at that. It does have a little bit more of a squishy take up, which is very reminiscent of the 43s. So when you squeeze this, it has a little bit of take up, and then right at that wall, it's a Glock trigger. It breaks like glass, you rack it, real tactile and audible reset on the trigger itself, which is nice. Now, would I replace my Gen 4 with this gun? Probably not. However, I do think it is probably one of the better Glocks out there, and I'll tell you why. I like the little things that they changed. So I think, you know, the beveled front end, for me, going in and out of a holster is a nice thing to have. It's very reminiscent of like the 26s with that beveled nose. I think the coating on the gun's a little slick. However, they do say it's more durable, it cleans up easier, so that's nice. The ambidextrous slide lock is really nice. I ran it both dominant and non-dominant and had zero problems like actuating the slide lock with my left hand, which was pretty easy to use. The frame itself feels great. Those finger grooves, I've talked about them before. I'm much happier without having the finger grooves. The flared magwell is nice. I did a couple of magazine changes, nothing too crazy fast, because I was just putting rounds through the gun just to kind of break it in and get my overall impressions, but it worked really well. It's, like I said, it's about a 1/2 inch expanded, but there's no extra meat down here. It's like they just took the mag and then just bent it out slightly in the bottom of the frame. The front cutout is fine. I don't have a problem with it. My finger wraps all the way around it, but I can tell if you have shorter fingers, your finger is gonna land in that cutout. So that's something to think of. But overall, I'm really happy with this gun. Now let me talk about what I'm not happy about with this gun. The fit and finish of the gun. There are a couple little spots on this gun that kind of bother me a little bit, if I'm being nitpicky, to be honest with you. One, the frame not being beveled with the slide kind of bugs me. It's like it's like one side of the house was doing the slide work and the other side of the house did the frame, and they just didn't talk about it. So that's something that is kind of a bug, but overall it's not a deal breaker. The other thing is going to be here in the magwell. So in the magwell itself, it flares out, but then it has this little lip that kind of curves in just a little bit. So that's something I would just take a file to and knock it down. And then the edges here in the cutout are pretty sharp. So it's one of those, I'm just gonna end up taking a Dremel or a file to knock them down to where they're a little bit smoother. But other than that, you know, it feels good. It's a Glock, guys. You know, I keep saying this. It's a Glock 19. It just has a little bit more bells and whistles to it. All right, guys, I wanted to end the video today with a big thank you to our new sponsor, Trident Weaponry. Trident Weaponry is now our new ammo sponsor. They are going to be supplying all of our ammo for testing, evaluations, you name it. Really cool guys there. They do everything from your standard factory loads, your 115-9, well, we shot 124s today, 5.56, all of the normal rounds that you would normally shoot. But they also do some really cool stuff with custom round fabrication, where you can send your rifle, your precision rifle, to them, and they will custom make a load for you to get the most accuracy out of your gun. So, like I said below, you know, check out below. I'm going to put a link to all their social media and their website so you guys can check them out. But let them know Fluffy sent you. All right, guys, this is going to wrap up the review of the Gen 5 Glock 19. Overall, guys, like I've said, I'm happy with the gun. I think it's going to be great. We're going to do a lot of cool stuff in the future with this gun. We are going to build the ultimate carry gun. We have a lot of great companies jumping on board with this, especially it being a Gen 5, and there's some new areas that people are moving into with this gun. So stay tuned for those videos. But like always, please like, follow, and subscribe. We just cracked 2,000 subscribers. Thank you so very much for supporting the channel. I really do appreciate it, because it allows me to come out here and shoot stuff like this, and I have a great time doing it, but I also want to make sure you guys have some good information. So like always, like, follow, and subscribe, because that's what keeps us alive. And until next time, we'll see you later.